Puro fuego. Oh my god. I didn't see that was there.
You just got wrecked.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. We do have a lot to go over today. It is a very exciting day for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, as far as price action is concerned, we are pushing lower against the $7,200 level. You can see we try to push below it on multiple occasions. Yesterday, we got down all the way to $7,000. Then we had a pump back up to $7,400, and now we are sitting right around that median level of about $7,200. Also, you notice a little bit of a mixed signal in the altcoins. We are anticipating a relatively big move for Bitcoin. We are getting to the end of the ascending wedge, which a lot of people are saying this could be a bearish sign for Bitcoin. Now, I don't just want to talk about Bitcoin today. I actually want to discuss the altcoins, because if we have a look, Bitcoin dominance is also coming to a bit of an apex. We are touching down on this significant trend line that started all the way back January 1st in 2018. I want to discuss the significance of this. Last time Bitcoin had a major blast off in dominance as well as price, but I do want to discuss the fact that we do have altcoins also breaking a significant trend line. So things are going to get very interesting very soon for Bitcoin and maybe even the altcoins. I want to talk about that. I also want to actually go into sort of one major problem that we've had for Bitcoin adoption and why it's looking a little bit brighter as far as some data that we have today. We're going to go into that as well. Also want to go into the fact that the CEO of the DeVere Group is actually pretty bullish on Bitcoin. Oh yeah, and we do have Binance being accused of embezzling $860,000 worth of crypto funds. So we're going to have to get into that as well. Lots of other news today. You're definitely going to want to stick around for today's video. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you are not subscribed, well, definitely consider it. We do these updates virtually every single day. And without further ado, we need to get in directly to the charts. So having a look right here, you do notice that we did break out of this ascending triangle. We are being currently held down by this resistance now. You can see right here, we had some major top outs back here, and currently it is holding us down yet again. Having a look right here, we are literally sitting exactly at the VPVR. This is the highest accumulated range of volume for Bitcoin. You can see it was a very significant level for accumulation back here, basically from November 18th of 2019 all the way to the pump in early January, okay? And we are literally sitting there right as we speak. So this is proving to be some pretty incredible resistance for Bitcoin. It's going to be difficult to tackle. Now, if we do break above this, well, we could go straight to the moon. However, if we don't, we could be revisiting some of these lower levels. Just got to be realistic. You do notice we are basically, once again, sitting sort of at the middle of the heart line. I don't want to keep talking about this. We've been discussing this trend now for quite a while. We are noticing that this does also appear to be the ascending wedge. They tend to be bearish patterns. Could we revisit some of these lower levels? Well, if this trend does have a breakdown, we could end up seeing a $5,800 Bitcoin. And if we go even lower, we could see 5.4K or the absolute low down here of $5,400. Now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. You know, it could just be a fake out. We could have a little bit of a dip down. We could have a wick back up. But what I want to talk about right now is the fact that we have Bitcoin dominance coming to the end of this apex, basically on this ascending trend that started all the way back in January of 2018. And the last time that Bitcoin found itself in this exact situation was right at the beginning of April of last year. You could see right here, we also had the resistance coming down, and Bitcoin had a multi-month surge, not only in price, but also in dominance. Now, of course, we had the altcoins also gaining in value as well. Obviously, when Bitcoin pumps, the altcoins increase in value simply because Bitcoin drags them along. However, we do notice that sitting in Bitcoin essentially was the place to be. However, the question is it different this time? Are we actually going to have another breakout with the Bitcoin dominance, potentially with the Bitcoin price, or are we going to have a breakdown and maybe catch some of these previous levels of resistance turn support? Well, having a look at the total market cap right here, you can see that number one, we had a lot of resistance right here for the overall. Now, this is altcoins. This is total two, okay? So this is everything excluding Bitcoin. And look at how much the altcoins were held down by this trend right here, once again right here, held down again here. But look at this. Once we finally broke above it, in early January of this year, well, the altcoins had an absolute, basically they skyrocketed, right? As soon as they finally broke through, they did. But then you notice that you sort of had the resistance becoming a bit of support, and currently it's acting as support again. So the question is, are we now actually going to have the previous resistance turn support? And is it time for the altcoins to now have their moment to shine? Let me know what you think about that below. I know there's a lot of people out there invested in altcoins, and some people think that I am a Bitcoin maximalist because I don't really hold a lot of altcoins, or really any actually currently at the time of making this video, but it does not mean that I do not like altcoins. In fact, there's a lot of projects that I'm interested in. If you'd like me to talk about some of the altcoin projects that I do like, just because I'm not invested in them doesn't mean that I don't like them or I don't support what they're doing. I could probably make a top altcoin video. That way you guys, maybe could get my opinion on that. But anyway, ultimately, what do you guys think? Do you think that Bitcoin is basically looking to have a breakdown to some of these lower levels, or do you think that Bitcoin is looking to sort of shoot off and basically go on another massive run? Well, that could be a possibility, guys. So just let me know what you think. Now, obviously, if you are looking to trade altcoins, most people usually just spot trade them, just buy them and then sell them, or buy them and hodl them. You can also trade them on some of these leverage trading platforms. You can do them over on Bybit. However, I'm going to be totally honest. I personally don't recommend trading altcoins with leverage. Altcoins are not as liquid as Bitcoin. They can have more insane spikes. I know, crazier volatility than Bitcoin. That's hard to imagine. So I do not suggest it. If you do want to do it, you can do some over on Bybit like XRP and EOS and Ethereum. If you're interested, I do have a tutorial popping up above, links below. But like I said, I don't actually recommend really trading anything except for Bitcoin if you're going to be using leverage trading. But that's just my opinion. It's your money. Do what you want. However, speaking about actually futures, I wanted to mention this quick story, and then I want to get into the big news of the day. So you guys know Plan B, right? He's sort of the pseudo-anonymous creator of the stock to flow ratio. Well, he actually says that he thinks that Bitcoin futures, like from the CME group, have not caused the Bitcoin price to behave erratically. According to stock to flow, he says that everything basically has been acting exactly as he expected. He says, in my opinion, Bitcoin price is not manipulated by futures. He says CME launched Bitcoin futures in December 2017. We know this. Many point to December 2017 all-time highs as the proof that futures have suppressed the Bitcoin price, but Bitcoin price stayed perfectly within the stock to flow bands. He says, I would have expected this to happen with or without futures. Nothing as usual. Now, I don't know 100% that I can agree with this. While I do not believe that the Bitcoin price is solely decided and manipulated by CME futures and things like that, I do think they have an effect on it, whether or not it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you see the futures traders shorting, so then like you decide to short as well, and then it just becomes sort of a trickle-down effect of just sort of triggering all these stops. I do think it has some kind of an effect on it, maybe not 100%. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's always been a hot topic as to whether or not the CME crashed the markets, but I do believe that they did have something to do with it. I mean, you've even seen how they were coming out saying, well, we were trying to tame Bitcoin, and well, that's kind of what they did, right? But anyway, let's talk about Nigel Green. Now, he is the chief executive founder of the international finance consultant giant De Beer Group, okay? And basically, he believes that Bitcoin will be bolstered by an economic environment that's favorable for cryptocurrency. So according to him, he says that we're moving towards an era of zero interest rates. He says this reduces the incentive to keep fiat currency. We've gone over this on the channel before. He says, in addition, rate cuts typically lead to higher inflation, which reduces the purchasing power of traditional currencies, right? We already know that. He says, therefore, Bitcoin and other decentralized cryptocurrencies become more attractive and the price will adjust upwards accordingly. And he says savvy investors are now actively seeking out these new world sectors and businesses so as to accumulate and safeguard their wealth. Now, this isn't the first time we've talked about this. We have seen a lot of investors looking for other places to put their money. In fact, it's not so much about what is the best performing asset, it's what's not the worst performing asset, which is kind of a terrible way to look at it. By the way, for anybody investing in traditional stocks, he does also mention, good investments being big tech giants like Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Alphabet. He also talks about, investing in supermarkets, healthcare, pharmaceutical companies, delivery brands, and electronic manufacturers. I mean, let's be honest, with everything going on right now, what's crazy is if you guys just go on Google Trends and search alcohol, it's like through the roof, which is kind of a side note, but I guess a lot of people are drinking right now in quarantine. Please be safe out there. However, here's what I wanted to talk about. So we do know that one of the biggest problems for Bitcoin adoption has really just been knowledge, education, right? People do not really understand how cryptocurrencies work. Some of them don't care to learn. Maybe if they learned, they'd be a lot more interested. And some of them try to learn, but they just can't get their head around it. In fact, I saw a guy commenting on Peter Schiff's tweet the other day, talking about you guys put your money in Bitcoin, and what if Satoshi was to, had a secret back entrance into the blockchain and he could hack everything? Or what if you lose your USB drive? It's like, okay, dude, you obviously don't understand how cryptocurrencies work. It's not like you're putting software on your computer and somebody's just going to come in and hack it, but that is the problem. Lack of education. Well, anyway, getting back to the story. So basically, with the pandemic forcing a global trend of lockdown and quarantines, millions over the world have sought basically online entertainment or education. So basically, they say as a consequence of this, online learning courses have actually soared in interest and people want to learn more about Bitcoin. Now, we actually have some data to prove that. So you guys may be familiar with Udemy, right? Popular online learning platform. They saw a 4-fold increase in demand for their Bitcoin and cryptocurrency courses in just the past month alone. According to a spokesperson, they say what we've seen on the platform is that the demand for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency related courses have quadrupled in the past month. And it's not just them. Also, Coursera, which is a service that basically has courses from universities worldwide, they saw another huge uptick in Bitcoin courses as well over the last 4 weeks. They said in March, we saw a 293% increase in the total number of enrollments on our platform and a 200% increase for blockchain, cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin courses specifically. So let me know if you're somebody that's new to the space. I have seen a lot of people subscribing to the channel, but this is showing me that more people are actually interested in learning how Bitcoin and blockchain works and not just diving in for the sick gains and the price action. And to be completely honest with you, this is exactly the kind of people that we want in the space, is people that are here because they're interested in how Bitcoin works and what it can do as far as, being that truly censorship resistant currency. And come on, 21 million Bitcoin. We don't have to go into the endless, fiat printing. Oh yeah, guys, side note, Bitcoin Cash had its halving today. In other news, so we did have Binance essentially being charged with embezzlement. It says that they were accused of freezing an account worth $1 million, although it does say $860,000 worth at the time. The owner accuses the platform of embezzlement, but the company says it simply followed the requirements of the South Korean police. The account had around, like I said, $850K at the time. So basically, Binance required additional KYC, AML verification procedures. They did say that this was due to South Korean authorities. A spokesperson from Binance said that a portion of the ETH that was transferred, which was 2,844 ETH, that's a lot of money, had been stolen from a Korean project. Though it didn't disclose the name, they said that it eventually transferred the amount over to the South Korean police. However, the police stressed that they hadn't asked to freeze or transfer the accounts, and the owner of the account said that they sent the correspondence with the South Korean police to Binance, but the exchange did not respond. The user concluded, "I have every reason to believe that Binance misappropriated my money for itself. Communication with them continues from November 21st, 2018 and has been ongoing for 18 months. So I don't really know what the actual answer is or what the bottom of this story is. However, my ultimate basically suggestion is don't keep more money on exchanges than you are willing to lose, regardless of the situation. Exchanges could get hacked. You never know. Things like this could happen. I recommend keeping your cryptocurrencies on something like a ledger. It's a hardware wallet. I think you can buy the regular ledger. What is it, like $60 or $70? Come on, guys. It's totally worth it for your investment. If you are interested, I do have a ledger tutorial. If you want to learn how to use the Ledger Nano X, I will drop that above. Also, you can check out my link below. Obviously, if you use my link, it supports the channel with a very, very small percentage that they are so kind to bless me with. Don't even worry about it, but definitely most importantly, keep your crypto safe, okay? Also, talking about Charles Hoskinson, you guys know him. He is the CEO of Cardano. He's come out and basically said that his team is taking the torch lit by Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. He says the reality is, as great as Satoshi's contributions were to crypto, what we have done over at IOHK is significantly more meaningful. We formalized everything from what a ledger is to showing that proof of work can be quantum resistant. We solved proof of stake. We designed specifically better programming languages, etc. Okay, so he's basically saying that Cardano is better than Bitcoin, which, hey, it might be with some of its features, but let's not take away the fact that Bitcoin was kind of the big daddy that sort of set the stage for everyone. But interestingly enough, on a side note, he also thinks he may know who Satoshi Nakamoto could be. He's offered clues. He points out that since Bitcoin's script is based on an uncommon computing language called Forth, he thinks that this could basically point out that Satoshi is someone who was in their 40s or 50s when the Bitcoin white paper appeared, since the programming language Forth was used in the 1980s or early 90s for computer science instruction, primarily in England and the Eastern United States. So there you go. Satoshi was probably a guy in his 40s or 50s, and he probably lived in either England or the Eastern United States. That's according to Charles Hoskinson over at Cardano. But I want to end today's note on something very positive. We do know that Jack, who his portfolio, or his about me section, his, what do you call it? His I can't even think of it. Well, anyway, it's Bitcoin. Why can't I think of what that's called? Like your profile, the top of it. Anyway, he says, I'm moving 1 billion of my Square equity, which is 28% of my wealth, to Start Small LLC to fund global COVID relief, and after we disarm this pandemic, the focus will shift to girls' health and education and UBI. It will operate transparently, and all flows will be tracked here. So, Jack, you're our hero for Bitcoin, and it looks like you are also our hero for the pandemic. And that being said, I think that's enough news for today, guys. So let me know what you think about bio. Is it your bio? Is that what you call it? Why can't I think of the word? Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I've had enough. It is Wednesday at the time of making this video. It is hump day. Bitcoin is struggling at around that critical level. We are expecting quite a big move soon. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin and altcoins. Do you think altcoins are going to moon, or do you think it's time for Bitcoin's dominance to take the next leg up? Also, if you're interested in me making a sort of altcoin video, top altcoin video, there are many projects out there that I do have my eyes on. I do follow them. I am very interested in them. And yeah, if you'd like my opinion on that, well, I'd be more than happy to make a video. Just let me know below in the comments. Thank you so much again for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.